All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and safety and much blessings to the Yakim that's pushing this truth out the four corners of the earth in all truth and sincerity and in diligence. All right, man, I just want to get into this topic, man. Being that America is Babylon the Great, what it speaks of in the Bible. You have ancient Babylon, right? And then you got Babylon the Great, which is America. And through the scriptures, we're going to prove that. All right, because right now, if you look on the map, which I have pulled up here, ancient Babylon would be this area right here, Iraq. Today, ancient Babylon is known as Iraq, okay? So at the time in ancient Babylon, you had the Israelites in captivity. You see what I'm saying? You did have the Israelites in captivity in ancient Babylon, where under King Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, so let's go grab that real quick. Um, that's that's Kings 24. Kings 24. Second Kings, Salaki. Second Kings. And this is Second Kings 24 and 8. It says, Jehoiachin was 18 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned in Jerusalem 3 months. And his mother's name was Neshusta, the daughter of Elathan of Jerusalem. And he did that which was evil in the sight of Yahweh according to all that his father had done. At that time, the servants of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up against Jerusalem, and the city was besieged. And Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came against the city, and his servants did besiege it. And Jehoiachin, the king of Judah, went out to the king of Babylon, he and his mother, and his servants, and his princes, his officers. And the king of Babylon took him in the 8th year of his reign, and carried out thence all the treasures of the house of the Lord, and the treasures of the king's house, and cut in pieces all the vessels of gold which Solomon king of Israel had made in the temple of the Lord, as the Lord had said. And he carried away all Jerusalem, and all the princes, and all the mighty men of valor, even 10,000 captivities, and all the craftsmen and smith, none remained, save the poorest sort of people of the land. And so he had the cream of the crop. And he carried away Jehoiachin to Babylon, and the king's mother, and the king's wives, and his officers, and the mighty of the land. Those carried he into captivity from Jerusalem to Babylon. And all men of might, even 7,000, and craftsmen and smiths a thousand, all that were strong and apt of war, even them of the king of Babylon brought captive to Babylon. So what, man? We went into captivity in Babylon. Okay, that's what happened. Okay, because the Babylonians, what the Babylonians did, the Babylonians took down the Assyrians. All right, and then we know that the northern tribe, during that time, what they did is they came to the Americas. Okay, so this is a Second Ezra 13 and 39. It says, whereas thou sawest that he that gathereth another peaceable multitude unto him. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoner out of their own land in the time of Hoshea, the king, who Salmanasseh, the king of Assyria, led away captive. He carried them over the waters, so they came into another land. You see? And that was I believe that 2 Kings, the 17th chapter. All right? It says, verse 41, but they took this counsel among themselves. This is the northern tribe, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into the further country where never mankind dwelt. And that's over here in the Americas. You see? It says that they might keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land, and they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow place of the river. For the Most High had shewed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over. For though that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, the same region is called Arsha. Okay, so that's what happened. They came to the Americas, man, because when Christopher Columbus, he identified this place, as being you know, the Americas, with that same name. Okay, you see. So right. So the Northern Kingdom was already in America. So who went into captivity in Babylon? You had the Southern Kingdom, all right, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which was known as Judah at the time. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So in ancient past time, we were enslaved in ancient Babylon, all right. But Babylon the Great, we're talking about Babylon the Great, which is a modern day Babylon, which is America. Okay. So in ancient Babylon, you had the Israelites. You had Judah, Benjamin, and Levi enslaved under the Babylonians, but the Persian, all right, no, the Medes took down the Babylonians. Okay, because what there was in Daniel's the 5th chapter, and this is how you know it's not talking about when it speaks of Babylon the Great, it's not talking about ancient Babylon. It's not talking about Babylon before. Right? Because I'm gonna prove it. But look, this is Daniel's 5 and 22. It says, "And thou, his son Belshazzar, has not humbled thine heart, though thou knewest all this." So like he says, "But hast lifted up thyself against the Lord of heaven, and thou hast brought vessels of his house before thee, and thy lords, thy wives, and thy concubines have drunk wine in them, and thou hast praised the gods of silver and gold, brass and iron, and wood and stone, which see not, nor hear, nor know, in the power in whose hands thy breath is, and who are thou all thy ways, thou hast not glorified." Okay? It says, then was part of the hand sent from him, and this was writing what was written. So like, and this writing was written. And this is the writing that was written. Mene tekel upharsin. And this is an interpretation of a thing. Mene, the Most High had numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Tekel, thou art weighed in the balance and are found wanting. Paris, the kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and the Persians. Then commanded Belshazzar, and they clothed Daniel with scarlet and put chain of gold about his neck and made the proclamation concerning him that he should be the third ruler in the kingdom. In that night was Belshazzar, the king of the Chaldeans, slain, and Darius the Mede took the kingdom, being about 62 years old. You see what I'm saying? So there's the Median took the kingdom, man. All right. That's how ancient Babylon was taken down. But when you read the scriptures in Jeremiah, it speaks about a Babylon, right? This is Jeremiah 50 and 1. It says, "The word of Yahweh spake against Babylon and the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet." So it's talking about Babylon, correct? Now let's just jump down to verse 39. It says, Therefore, the wild this is all concerning Babylon. Therefore, the wild beasts of the desert with the wild beasts of the island shall dwell there, and here in Babylon, and the owls shall dwell there, and it shall be no more inhabited forever, neither shall it be dwelt in the generation to generation. Now we know that that's not talking about ancient Babylon just off of that, because ancient Babylon, Iraq, modern day Babylon, which is Iraq, is inhabited with people, okay, that's living over there. Okay, those Iraqis are living over there. Well, that is in Benadad. I believe that's let's see, Baghdad, Baghdad. Yeah. So this place is inhabited. So that's how you know it's not talking about ancient Babylon. It's talking about a modern day Babylon, which is America. We're gonna prove it's America. Verse 40 says, "As the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities thereof, said the Lord, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell there." So the Lord said the same way he did Sodom and Gomorrah, he's going to do Babylon like that. Well, now we know that specifically, we know now from reading this verse, we know it's not talking about ancient Babylon, because Darius the Mede slain, Belshazzar. You see, but the Lord is talking about another Babylon, which he's going to do like Sodom and Gomorrah, and destroy it by fire. You see? Because look, it's talked about that same Babylon in Isaiah, the 13th chapter. It says, "The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see." Now, look, this is talking about Babylon. So, what we're going to do is just drop down to verse 17. It says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them." The Medes will be in the Russians. Okay, it says, "Which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it, nor that so like their bows shall dash the young men into pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb, neither their eye shall spare children. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelled in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherd make their fold there." You see, so it's not supposed to be inhabited, and it's going to be overthrown by Sodom and Gomorrah. So we see through the scriptures, through prophecy, that modern day is a Babylon that's going to be destroyed by fire. You see, and we know, who's ruling Babylon right now, which would be Esau, Edom. Okay, because Esau, when you read Second Ezra, the 6th chapter, um, Second Ezra 6:6, it says, "I did consider these things, and they were all made through me alone, and through none other. By me also shall they be ended, and by none other." Then answered I and said, "What is the first? What be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall the end of the first and the beginning of it that follow?" And he said unto me, "From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow." So Esau is the end of the world, all right? And we know that the so-called white man is ruling right now. He's the end of an eon, okay, a time period, okay? And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So there's a kingdom that's coming after the rulership of Esau, Edom. You see? And Esau, Edom, he's ruling Babylon the Great. And which is synonymous, Esau Edom is synonymous with Babylon the Great, because when you read Psalms, I believe it's 137. It's in Psalms 137. It says 137:7. It says, "Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in that day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof." Raise it means to destroy it, even to the foundation thereof. So the Edomites always wanted us to, be done away with, to be just erased off the planet Earth. It says, "O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed." So it's equating Edom to Babylon right here. You see, look, I'm gonna read it over. It says, "Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in that day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us." You see, so Edom and Babylon is synonymous. Okay, so if Edom is synonymous with Babylon, who is ruling Babylon right now? The Edomites. Okay? So wherever Babylon is at, you're gonna have the Edomites ruling. You see? Here in this day and age and time. So where's these white people have set up shop at, man? Right here in America, bro. Okay? Oh, you got them all in Europe. That's great. I'm glad that would be a thought. You see? But we know through the scriptures that Babylon is known for its imports. So when I look up right here on the internet, which country imports the most, it says what? United States is the world's largest import of goods, followed by China and Germany. You see, so United States is known for its imports. They're the world's largest importer of goods. Now I would look up, the things that America imports. The top five is gasoline and other fuels, crude petroleum, liquefied natural gas, and other natural gases. Civilian aircraft parts, passenger vehicles. That's the top five. You see what I'm saying? That's just the top five. You know, and you see the statistics from 2017 to 2018. It had maybe what that is. It had a jump, from 2,351 to 2,500, from 2,900 to 3,100. The imports and exports, but the imports are still higher than the exports. Okay, and the main country that's known for its exports is China. You see, but America is known for its imports, meaning that what they consume, they buy everything. Everything is, damn near everything is shipped here. You see what I'm saying? That's why it says what the U.S. is the largest importer of the world and the second largest exporter next to China. Okay, so when you read the scriptures, Revelations, the 18th chapter, it says, Revelation 18:1, it says, "And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried a mighty with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, is become the habitation of devils, the hold of every foul spirit, and cage of every unclean and hateful bird." And that's America, because America is the so-called land of the free. And the mindset of these devils, is do as thou wilt. Wisdom of Solomon, the second chapter. The YOLO, you only live once. So just do whatever you want to do, live and be happy, in land of the free. That's why I call it Babylon. It's the whole of every foul spirit. And you got some foul spirits, man. You got men that wants to be women and women that wants to be men. And you ask the question, what is a woman? And they can't answer it. And there's nothing but confusion here, man. And that's what Babylon means. Babylon means confusion. Okay. But when you jump down to verse 8, it says, "Therefore shall all her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall utterly be burnt." Talking about Babylon, burnt with fire, right? So Babylon is going to be burnt with fire. It says, "For strong is the Lord power who starts like a strong. For strong is the Lord, the Most High, who judgeth her." It says, "And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, right? The city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come, and all the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. You see? So who's known for that? Who's known for the imports, man? America. You see, that's that great city that buyeth what? The merchandise, that buyeth the merchandise of gold and silver, precious stones and pearls, fine flax and purple and silk and scarlet, and all thine woods, and all thy manner of vessels and ivory, and all thy manner of vessels with most precious wood, and of brass and of iron and of marble, and of cinnamon and of odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour, wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and of souls of men. That's America. America is the biggest importer on the planet Earth. That's that great city. That's what it's talking about. Babylon the Great, man. So Babylon the Great, which is America, we're reading that it's going to be destroyed by fire, man. And that fire is those thermonuclear missiles that the Lord is going to send forth over here. You know, all America's allies are going to turn on her. Okay, that's written in just the previous chapter. You see, because it says what? The doomsday of Babylon. It says what? Upon her forehead was written the mystery Babylon, the great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. You see, America is the abomination of the earth because you can come here and do anything you want to do, man. You can be whatever you want to be here, no matter what it is. It can go against humanity of nature. It's still upheld here in America, and you can't say anything about it. Or you're being sexist, or you're being uh, uh, whatever they want to call it, man. You're not part of. You look down on for if you speak against wickedness of such. You know, you're ridiculed for it. You know, but what that is, 17 and 16, it says, and the 10 horns, which were going into what the EU, right? The 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast shall hate the whore. That whore which be in who? America, man. All right. The 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked and eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Talking about Babylon, man. Because all America's allies are going to turn on her. You see? Everybody's going to wake up to the fact that the whole reason why this is happening is because of America. Okay? And then what's going to happen? Nukes are going to get shot on this place. And so, which another point in Micah, when you read Micah 1 and 1, it says the word of the Lord that came to Micah, the Morshathite, in those days of Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, which I saw concerning Samaria and Jerusalem. Right? Oh, wait, Salaki. That's Micah 1. I need Micah 4. It says, but in the latter days, so like in the last days, it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in all the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and the people shall flow unto it. So it says in the last days. And look, it says in the latter days right here. So anytime you see latter days, it's talking about end time prophecy. So, but what we're reading right here, Micah 4, it starts off with quoting the prophet Isaiah. Right. So this is end time prophecy, meaning that this hasn't happened yet. Okay. So when you jump down to verse 8, it says what? And thou, O tower of the flock, the stronghold of the daughter of Zion, unto thee shall it come, even the first dominion, when we was what? In rulership. So rulership is going to come back, right? The kingdom shall come to the daughter of Jerusalem. Now why doest thou cry aloud? Is there no king in thee? Is thy counselor perished? For pangs have taken thee as a woman in travail. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travailing. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon. There shalt thou be delivered. There the Lord shall redeem thee from the hand of thy enemies. And this is how you know it's not talking about ancient Babylon, because ancient Babylon, the Medes took over, the Medes and the Persians took over, and we were just transferred from one captivity to the other captivity. You get what I'm saying? So it wasn't no deliverance, it wasn't no redeeming then. We're going to be redeemed where? Here in Babylon, where the bulk of the Israelites are. You see? So, Lord, when you're edified, I'm going to say shalom.